Hey everybody, so right now this is my last day in Gettysburg, and I wanted to make one more video as a conclusion to my visit here at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And I wanted to conclude this video by talking about a story about Jimmy Carter when he was President of the United States. So this is a fun fact that many yins might not know about, and this is what I mentioned yesterday at Devil's Den. I said that I was going to talk about something significant about the battlefield that's very interesting. So in 1978, there was a crisis going on in the Middle East when President Jimmy Carter was in the White House, and it was between Israel and Egypt. Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin and President of Egypt, Anwar Sadat. So those two countries were on the brink of war. There was tensions between them, both countries, and Jimmy Carter hosted the leaders of Egypt and Israel to the United States to discuss and negotiate peace, because Jimmy Carter did not want to see an escalation of war. Because Jimmy Carter was a World War II veteran, and he saw the horrors of war in World War II and didn't want that to happen between those two nations. So while at Camp David negotiating peace, Jimmy Carter, being a Civil War nut like myself and a student of history like myself, Jimmy Carter wanted to bring those two world leaders from Israel and Egypt to here at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. He could have brought them anywhere. He could have took them anywhere in the country, but he decided to take those two leaders here in Gettysburg. And while he took those two leaders here, he toured them all around the battlefield. He toured them on the south side, the north side, and he explained to them and he showed them this is the horrors of war. This is what will happen if we do not negotiate peace and we do not, find a good solution because this is the inevitable. This battlefield is the depiction of what happens when you don't negotiate and you don't have good diplomatic solutions, and this is the price that these men paid in 1863. And so when the Prime Minister of Israel and the President of Egypt were touring this ground, this place made such an impact on them that eventually they negotiated and came to terms, and President Jimmy Carter was able to negotiate a peace term and prevent a war between the two nations. And Jimmy Carter was able to accomplish that goal of negotiating and getting peace between the two nations, as I already stated. But my point is, this is my point about this battlefield and about what that story represents, is that this battlefield is absolutely magical. There's something about this battlefield that made Jimmy Carter want to bring the leaders of Israel and Egypt here in 1978. Many world leaders and many presidents over the decades came here for different reasons. Eisenhower wanted to live here for the rest of his life instead of the White House here at Gettysburg. FDR came here, and many other presidents following that. There was something magical, and there was something in the air. There's something in the soil that makes it so special that people from all over the world, including myself, but millions of other people, know about this battle. They want to come to this battlefield because it is so... There's no words to describe how amazing this battlefield is and the impact it can make on your life and many other lives, that Jimmy Carter was trying to prove in 1978, and that he did prove when he used this battlefield to negotiate peace between Israel and Egypt. So, since this is my last time in Gettysburg for another who knows how long, it's going to be a while by the time I get back here, but I just wanted to tell yins about this battlefield. I wanted to promote it, and I wanted to thank yins all for watching my videos, and I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a lot about it. And if you have never visited Gettysburg, or it's been a long time since you've visited Gettysburg, I really recommend you coming back here and walking the battlefield and appreciating it, because it honestly changes your life and changes your perspective about the battle. you know, it's different to read it in a book and watch a movie and say, okay, that's what happened. But when you walk the footsteps of the men that served, bled, and died here on the 3 days of July in 1863, you get a sense of respect, you get a sense of honor and empathy and sympathy, and you think to yourself, just like the leaders of Israel and Egypt in 1978, like, oh my God, this is horrible. We cannot let this happen again. That's the impact that this battlefield makes on people from all over the world, as you saw in that speech that I just gave and that little bit of example. So thank you very much for watching my videos again. I hope yins are really appreciated and like them. And I will see you sometime next year with another series of Gettysburg videos. So anyway, I'm Logan Joyce, the Suburban Yinzer from Pittsburgh, PA, and I'm signing off here at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. One of my favorite and happy places on earth. So anyway, peace.